Alright, sorry about that. My laptop ran out of storage while I was in the middle of doing number 225. So I'm just going to leave off or start where I left off there. So for number 225, we have 7m minus 14 minus m is equal to negative 2. And so again, we want to isolate the square root. So we're going to add m to both sides of this equation. We get 7m minus 14 is equal to m minus 2. And now that we have the square root isolated, we can square both sides of this equation. And on the left-hand side, we just have 7m minus 14. Again, when we square a square root, all we're left with is what is inside the root. So we just have 7m minus 14. On the other side, however, we're going to multiply this out. Remember, m minus 2 squared just means m minus 2 times m minus 2. Multiplying that out, we get m squared minus 2m minus 2m plus 4. And that gives us m squared minus 4m plus 4. So now this is just a quadratic with like terms not combined. So we want to make this equal to 0, and we can do this by subtracting 7m from both sides and adding 14 to both sides. When we do that, the 7m's will cancel, and the 14's do as well. So we'll have 0 is equal to m squared, and then minus 4m minus 7m, and that gives us negative 11m. And then we have 4 plus 14, which gives us 18. And now we just want to factor this. We want to find two numbers that multiply to 18, but add up to negative 11. So let's see, that would be negative 2 and negative 9. And then, using our zero product property, we can basically just flip the signs on these because we have coefficients of 1 in front of the m. So we have m is equal to 2, or m is equal to 9. And sure enough, if you plug both of these solutions into this equation again, they will work out, and so both of them are valid solutions. We don't have any extraneous solutions. Okay, let's look at number 226. For number 226, we have 4 plus square root of 8 minus 2x is equal to x. And so again, we want to get the square root by itself, so we can do that by subtracting 4 from both sides. We get the square root of 8 minus 2x is equal to x minus 4. Since we have the square root isolated, we can now square both sides of this equation. We have 8 minus 2x, because the square root and the square cancel out. But we have x minus 4 squared. If we multiply that out, again, that's just x minus 4 times x minus 4. We have x squared minus 4x minus 4x plus 16. Combining all of our like terms, we have x squared minus 8x plus 16. Now we want to combine all of our like terms. We'll subtract 8 from both sides and add 2x. So plus 2x minus 8. All of that cancels. We have 0 is equal to x squared. Negative 8x plus 2x is going to be minus 6x. And then 16 minus 8 is plus 8. And then we want to factor this, so we have to find two numbers that multiply to 8 and add up to negative 6. And those two numbers are going to be -4 and -2. So we have x minus 4 times x minus 2. And then using our zero product property, we can just flip the signs on these. We get x is equal to 4, or x is equal to 2. However, we have to plug these numbers back into our original equation. And as mentioned in the last video, what was supposed to be a part of this video, I'm not going to do that every time for the sake of time. But if you plug in both of these numbers in, you'll find that x equals 4 works, but x equals 2 does not. So x equals 4 is your only valid solution. X equals 2 is extraneous. Okay, so for 227, we have m is equal to the square root of 3m minus 8 plus 2. So we want to get the square root by itself. So we subtract 2 from both sides. We get m minus 2 is equal to the square root of 3m minus 8. Since we have the square root by itself, we want to square both sides. We have m minus 2 squared is equal to all of that squared. And for the left-hand side, we have to square m minus 2. So we can set up a box. We have m times m, which is m squared, minus 2m, minus 2m, and plus 4. And so for the left-hand side, we get m squared minus 4m plus 4. And this will be equal to 3m minus 8. Now we want to combine like terms. So we have minus 3m plus 8, minus 3m plus 8. The right-hand side will cancel. It'll be equal to 0. And on the left-hand side, we have m squared minus 7m plus 12. Now we want to factor this by finding two numbers that multiply to 12 and add up to -7. Those two numbers are going to be -3 and -4. In using our zero product property, we can basically just flip those signs, and we have m is equal to 3 or m is equal to 4. And sure enough, if we plug both of these numbers back into our original equation, they will make it true. And so both solutions are valid. No extraneous solutions here. For the last one, we have 228. For 228, we have n, not m, n is equal to -3 plus the square root of 4n plus 8. We want to get the square root by itself, so we'll add 3 to both sides. We get n plus 3 is equal to the square root of 4n plus 8. We want to get this, we want to square both sides. Make a box over here. We have n plus 3 times n plus 3. N times n is n squared plus 3n plus 3n, and then plus 9. Adding all of this together, we have n squared plus 6n plus 9. And this will be equal to 4n plus 8. So now we can subtract 4n and subtract 8 from both sides to combine all of our like terms. This gives us n plus 6n minus 4n, so plus 2n. Sorry, this is n squared here. We have 9 minus 8, which is 1, is equal to 0, because all of that cancels. Now we want to factor this. We may recognize it as our perfect square of just n plus 1 squared is equal to 0. Or finding two numbers that multiply to 1 and add up to 2, you can write as n plus 1 times n plus 1 is equal to 0. Either way, this will give you n is equal to negative 1 is your only solution. And if you plug in this number back into the original equation, it will make sense. And so n equals negative 1 is your only solution. So that wraps up section 15. So thank you for watching.